Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So it seems like every time I make a video talking about what I would consider to be the worst new piece of gun control that I've ever seen, the left says, hold my beer, I've got something even worse for you. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. Their entire goal is to completely overturn the Second Amendment, and that is exactly what this new bill would do. I just made a video days ago talking about the new Go Safe Act, which is absolutely horrendous. This bill makes that look like flowers in a prairie. I mean, absolutely nothing. This bill would essentially overturn the Second Amendment. And before we talk about everything that it does, let's talk about the sponsor of the bill. The sponsor of the bill is the guy who said this.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
So now that you've got that visual in your head and you know who's trying to write laws to overturn our rights, let's talk about H.R. 6596 and exactly what it does from the sponsor himself. Hey, real quick before we get started, I've got some of the best subscribers on the internet, hands down, some of the most supportive people that you will ever find. So if you are not a subscriber, make sure you join the community by hitting that subscribe button, that little bell notification to let you know when new videos come out, and a thumbs up is always appreciated, and jump down below in the comments. That's a great way to join the conversation. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here with this bill, and try and remember, this is not hyperbole. This is fact. This is what is written on the sponsor's website. This bill seeks to ban, regulate, and restrict just about everything. So I think the best way to talk about this bill is to start off by taking a look at exactly what it seeks to do. So I'll put this up on the screen here so you guys can read it. Okay, so H.R. 6596, again, sponsored by Representative Johnson. It's called the Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safeties Act, and the information that you're looking at right here comes directly from Representative Johnson's website. It says, this bill would create a federal gun licensing system. That's what we need. Require universal background checks and keep guns out of the wrong hands, essentially creating a federal extreme risk protection order or federal red flag laws. Ensure guns are used and stored responsibly, so safe storage laws. Keep weapons of war off our streets, so basically banning any type of what they call quote-unquote assault weapons, or, you know, what they like to call military style, right? Crack down on trafficking, improve oversight of FFLs, hold the industry accountable, so they want to basically get rid of any type of federal protections that the industry might have, and invest in research and community-based gun violence prevention. And they want to do that by providing $120 million on an annual basis to these research groups that want to take your rights away. So again, that's from a guy who thinks that an island can capsize if you put too much weight on one side. These people are allowed to write laws, and laws that clearly violate our constitutional rights. Now, if we just start off with the first part of that alone, which is that there would be this new licensing scheme, is it still a right if it requires a license from the government? No, it's a privilege, because once you have a licensing scheme, a license can always be revoked, removed, or denied to begin with, so somebody can be denied their rights before they even got started. Again, it's not a right if it requires permission. So right off the bat right there, it is completely unconstitutional. Everything in this bill or this act is completely unconstitutional. They want to ban things. They want to tell you how you have to store them. They want, you know, these background checks that go above and beyond anything that you guys are seeing today. They want federal red flag laws. So if you do something that they don't like, they want to be able to flag you and remove your personal, privately owned property from you without due process. And they want to have even more oversight over FFLs and the ability to revoke their licenses without really much of an issue at all. Simple clerical errors could see an FFL lose their business entirely. So there is a lot going on here, including sending your tax money to people that absolutely can't stand the fact that you have that right to begin with. This, coupled with the Go Safe Act, would absolutely completely overturn the Second Amendment. I mean, it would turn it on its head. Now, I gotta say, most of this is just political theater, but what you have to remember about this, the likelihood of something like this ever passing is pretty much zero, is the fact that they're saying the quiet part out loud now. Before, when they said, oh, they were just going after one specific thing, or oh, it's just common sense stuff that we're looking for, that part seems to be thrown out the window. They're not looking for the whole common sense anymore, and they're not looking to tailor it to any, one specific thing. They are saying the quiet part out loud, and they are telling you exactly what they want. They want to ban pretty much everything except for your grandpa's old hunting rifle. If it's not that, then it's on this list. And if you, again, couple that with the Go Safe Act, they're saying out loud that they can't stand that we have that right, and they would like to see everything that is currently protected under that right gone. Now, I'll put this up on the screen so you guys can actually see this for yourself, but there are 18 co-sponsors of this bill, 18 people who have signed on saying that they don't believe that we should have this right, because if they believed in their oath and they believed we would have this right, they would be fighting to preserve it and protect it rather than see it overturned. So these are, again, people in the People's House, the House of Representatives, who are doing this. Now, another thing you need to remember here, and something that the GOA pointed out earlier today on X, is that in both chambers, in the Senate and in the House, there are representatives who believe, I mean firmly outright believe, that the Second Amendment was intended to protect hunting rights. It's all about hunting for them. If it's not something that can be used for hunting, then it's not protected by the Second Amendment. And so they firmly believe that that was codified into our Bill of Rights to somehow protect hunting.
When I look at these gun proposals, I always ask myself, would this proposal hurt my Uncle Dick in his deer stand? No. He doesn't need an AK-47 to go deer hunting.
If you know any better at all, you've done any research, or you just know what was happening at the time of the ratification of our Second Amendment, you know that it has absolutely nothing to do with hunting, but that's what they firmly believe. And this kind of proves it right here. And the fact that there's so many people willing to sign on to the Go Safe Act and this act and other bills that make their way through Congress. So again, while I firmly believe that this has no chance of going anywhere at all, it's still out there, and it's still something that we need to pay attention to. And if we just simply ignore things like this and say, well, that's just too much, it's just too much, so I'm not going to talk about it, then we're doing a disservice to our founding fathers, because they would want us to talk about this and spread the word and let people know what people in the People's House are actually doing. And they're trying to overturn a right. And that's something that you guys need to know about and take seriously. At minimum, just know that it exists and what these people are trying to do, so that next time the cycle comes around, you'll know exactly where they stand. Regardless, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It's astounding how they always seem to it's like California. Basically, the federal government's just trying to take it one step further every single time, and it's just amazing to me. Anyway, thanks again very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.